Hey guys, how are you? It's Break Nostalgia here, and what I would like to do with you today is to review this 12 volt Lego Locomotive. This locomotive is actually not an official build, but it's actually a build that is suggested in a vintage Lego idea book. This one that you see here, number 7777 from 1980. On page 24, if you open the book, you will find this page with these three locomotives suggested and the steps to build them. I built all three of them, and at the time of the recording of this video I already reviewed this first one. So today we are going to be focusing on this one, but please keep an eye on the channel and feel free to stay tuned, because I will soon be uploading a review of this third locomotive as well. Feel free to check the description down below for the useful links that at some point will be leading you to the reviews for each locomotive. So this is the build itself. It's not my favorite of the three. Is actually the one that I like the least of the three, but it's just a matter of personal opinion, nothing else. I think this is a very good and well made build. It just didn't strike me as much as the others. Okay, so we're gonna go. You already saw the train running on a track at the beginning of the video, so now we're gonna go very briefly through these through an overview of the build, and we can highlight the features, the interesting features of it. Okay, so we're gonna start with the front. What we actually have to notice is this build is symmetrical. There are it's exactly the same on both sides. The only difference that makes you understand what's the front and what's the back is these two headlights. It's these two yellow bricks here on the front, the light bricks on the front, and the two red on the back that give you a sense of direction about which one is the front and which one is the back. So let's start with the front. As you can see, this is the front of the train. It uses these and this is a cool feature, I think. It makes use of these three windows to create the front window shield, and it, as you can see here, it's a very square design that I actually like a lot, as this is supposed to be a beefy, powerful freight train. So I really like these type of road designs that you encounter in all the three builds of the book. Once we move here to this point, you can find these shutters that, once open, actually do not reveal a motor as you might think, but actually leave a whole empty section where you can spot the headlight brick that, if connected with a wire that I don't have here to the motor, once the train is running, is supposed to power up the light of these two brakes. So yeah, this is it. That's pretty heavy, empty. So there we go. Sorry guys, it's the whole thing is falling apart. So very heavy an empty space both on this side and on the back, where you find exactly the same thing. And then just let's focus very briefly on this middle section. Okay guys, just we're gonna have a look now at the middle section, but before that there's just a couple of things I wanted to point out. The very first one is that the build that I'm presenting is very accurate. It has pretty much all the pieces that were used in the book. There's just one thing that is different, which is that I don't have these windows here in my build, as I didn't have enough of those pieces, so I had to replace with something else, and what I used was these more regular transparent pieces, which I think still work very well with the design, and also give you a very good hint of what's inside it. So actually I quite like them. The second one is about these two doors, or actually all four of them. These doors come from set number 7745, which is the vintage 12-volt train, the one that has red doors but has a white stripe printed in here. In order to get the doors, the color scheme to fit the whole build, what I used here is just some red electrical tape to cover the white stripes, and I resolved the problem this way without having to buy more doors or having to change the color scheme of the build. So I think it worked quite well. You can't really spot it at all, so guys, feel free to take these as a good hint in case you're gonna bump into the same problem in the future. Okay, so moving to the build, we're gonna open the roof that can be easily removed, as there are some tiles here on top that make it easy to remove the whole thing. This is the whole roof with these parts. I can't remember, I think they're pantographs, maybe I can't remember the English name for it, that are exactly the same build as the 7714. They're just taken from that model. And now if you have a look inside, what you can see is that there are two cabin sections with a motor in the middle. Now I'm just gonna take a few bricks off just so you guys can have a better look of the motor, that I think is worth looking at a bit better, which is this one. Nothing special, but yeah, still interesting. It's very interesting to see how with which pieces they put the whole thing together. You see there is a steering wheel here, and there are these pieces that are usually used in cars or vintage space sets. So once again, with a bit of creativity, you know, you can use whatever you want in order to build for your build, as long as you put the right touch and you have the right amount of creativity. Okay, so let me put these let me quickly put these back together, and then we're gonna move to some final considerations. This build is not my favorite, is actually my least favorite of the three, but it's just a matter of personal taste. I think this is a very good build. It looks its design satisfy what I would be looking for when I'm building a freight engine, a powerful freight engine. So I think it's a good build that was worth making it and reviewing it. So this is it, guys. Feel free to keep an eye on the links in the description down below, because this is the second build of the three suggested in the idea book, but I'm reviewing all of them. So if you have a look at the links down in the description, you're gonna find the links to the other reviews. Feel free to stay tuned, rating, comment and subscribing, because I will be posting more over the next few months. Okay, so thank you very much, and I'll see you later.